there was an article on The Athletic that talked about what the players were going to have to do upon check-in. And for Toronto, teams arriving by charter, there's no quarantine requirement, but for 5 days, the individuals can only participate in essential work. I'm interested what is deemed as essential work and interact with their traveling party. For players traveling commercial, there's a 4-day quarantine in their hotel room until 4 daily COVID-19 tests come back negative. And I know they're supposed to be doing same-day results on the tests, so not too bad there. They're going to have 40-acre grounds in Toronto, and they're going to have access to the Toronto Raptors training facility, the OVO Athletic Center, shout out Drake, the Toronto Marlies home rink, the Coca-Cola Coliseum will serve as practice facility, and then the Leafs multi-pad practice facility, the Ford Performance Center. So I think it works out to like 4 or 5 practice rinks they'll have access to, something like 15 gyms they'll be able to work out in. And then on the other side of the Toronto bubble, they're turning BMO Field, which is where the MLS team plays, into like an outdoor rec area where players can go eat, work out, hang out, whatever they want to do in there.
That sounds pretty cool. I mean, it's definitely, I think they're kind of handling this as well as anybody really so far. I think they have to be the mold, right? I mean, I think at the end of the day, I think baseball is going to run into some issues because they're still traveling.
Yep.
And basketball has their own little bubble. I think they're doing a solid job too. But I think football and baseball are going to have a few more obstacles to deal with because you got travel. And it's going to be interesting to see with football because, again, I don't know how baseball's doing it, but I know football, like, players are going to be allowed to stay at their houses, right? Like, they're not doing the hotels for training camps. They're not doing anything like that. So it's like, you know, there's a ton more risk and obstacles that they're going to have to come, you know, be able to beat. But, you know, I think the NHL has done so well with these 2 hub cities and actually taking advantage of the cities and being able to use multiple areas for multiple things. So I think they've done a heck of a job kind of setting that thing up.
Now, the one hotel in Toronto has an underground tunnel that actually connects to Scotiabank Arena, so guys have an easy route to go back to the hotel or to the arena. Don't have to interact with public, even though everything's going to be fenced off anyways. The other one, they will have to shuttle to and from, but the other hotel seems to have a nicer setup. It's got a rooftop pool, 250 feet movie theater in it, 56-seat screening room, 90,000 square foot fitness facility, 4 tennis courts, 8 squash courts, hot yoga studio, basketball court, and then I think they got some golf sims set up. And then after 14 days of being in the secure zone in the bubbles, the guys will be allowed to travel to like golf courses around the area and play golf and whatnot. So sounds like pretty good. I think they took a look at what the NBA did, saw what they had going on for some of those guys down there, and probably tried to work to implement some of that. And seems like it's going to be pretty cool. They also have, for the in-game experience, I was reading about this, they tried to accommodate each team and give them a little bit of their home flavor, and they allowed them to record like pregame ceremonies and intros and whatnot, with whether it be your own anthem singer that you wanted to have sing the anthem. I know the Blue Jackets are going to be able to have a recording of their cannon shooting off in the arena when they get goals scored. So just a little something to just make these guys feel a little more comfortable and kind of juice up the atmosphere, even though there's not going to be people inside. There's some illustrations you can see on Twitter of what the arena is supposed to look like. They've cooked it up pretty good with some LED screens and some lights and whatnot. I know they're adding extra cameras. They usually use about 20 cameras, which was mind-blowing to me because you only normally see like 2 or 3 angles of a normal hockey game. But they got about 20 cameras. Normally, they're going with 32 this time. So hopefully we'll get the Skycam going too, so we can follow the play up and down the ice. You're going to have all the LED screens around the outside. It should be pretty sweet. And then they're going to run a 5-second delay, because they don't want to catch hot mics with guys swearing, but I think some stuff's still going to squeak through, so I don't want to sound discouraged or ruin anyone's fun there, but I think you'll still get a nice inside look behind the game. We saw this on baseball the other night. If you watched the Yankees Nationals, Max Scherzer, right after he had a home run get hit off of him, dropped a goddamn almost immediately. So some stuff's going to get through. You'll still hear some altercations, but they're going to do their best to clean it up at least. I think it should be fully uncensored, but I get it. FCC, bullshit, blah, 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 blah.
Agree. Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be pretty cool for the NHL. I mean, for a league that's trying to gain popularity amongst the fans, right? I think this is going to kind of give a little better insight, because you and I have seen it. We've seen a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, and we love the chirping that goes on amongst benches or even on the ice, or a lot of that stuff. And I mean, I think what is it, the all access Stanley Cup stuff that goes on like HBO or Showtime or whatever. I think that stuff's always gives you like a pretty good behind the scenes look at some of that stuff, which I think is awesome. So hopefully now you'll be able to get much more of that, weekly and daily and kind of what it goes with every game.
Yeah, they're also going to be pumping in some crowd noise. I think they've sampled some sounds and stuff too from the EA Sports NHL game. I just hope they don't overdo it there. I think less is more when it comes to that type of sound. As long as there's some ambient sound, I want to hear the sounds of the game. I want to hear the skates on that crisp ice. I want to hear the puck banging. I want to hear the boards banging. I want to hear guys calling out for passes and hey, head up, reverse, all that shit. A couple other things to note: the NHL's got more than 1,000 cases of Gatorade, 1,000 practice pucks, and 12,000 shower towels for each hub city. They've also set up a concierge service so these guys can order food or if they need medication or whatnot from a pharmacy, they'll have basically a runner to go and get it so they don't have to interact with leaving the bubble or player or delivery people coming up to the bubble. They'll have kind of a middleman service there, which was smart. We saw that in the NBA. One of the guys had to be quarantined because he went out to go get some Postmates out of the parking lot, which was hilarious to me. Digging through my notes here, there's so much information on this stuff.
Toronto's an unbelievable food city. I'm going to throw that out there. Shout out poutine. Got to get some poutine up there.
Yeah, big time poutine, big time Canadian delight.